All right, guys, so I am trying to be a little bit quicker with my rambles. I'm going to try to just actually jump to the point. So Keith had some success with the Cantilever Cannondale that he was riding. That bike had to be like 6 years old, probably a lot older than that actually. So he was having some early season success on that bike. Gave him a little inkling and maybe he could go for the overall in the NCCX series. That is our local cyclocross series. So to kind of step up the game, he decided to actually get a more modern bike, which leads us to this. So let's just get to the bike shop, show you his new whip.
That's the only reason I like it. This is the 2020 Giant TCX Advanced Pro 1. Just got it in last week, ridden it a couple times. This particular model comes with the SRAM Force 1x12, 11, something. How many gears does this have? 11? Yeah, 1x11. Disc brakes, carbon wheels, carbon crank, tubeless tire setup. My rear tubeless tire lasted all of 35 minutes and I cut a hole in it, so I had to borrow Cameron's tire for the race on Sunday. Probably the only reason I won was that tire. It had the strength of a Moss in it. Comes with the giant cockpit on the bike, stem, handlebar, seat post, saddle. I really do like the contact saddles, have them on all of my bikes, road, mountain, cross. They fit me pretty well, so if you're a scrawny person, these things seem to work well. Bike with all my gear on it was 19 pounds, which is pretty awesome for a disc brake cross bike with pedals, bottle cages, computer, and all that jazz. This is a medium large, yeah. Size medium large. I think that works out to be about a 56 top tube on this particular model. But I raced it on Sunday in Raleigh at the NCCX race. And I won my category, which was pretty awesome. So my initial impressions of the bike are pretty high, probably because I won on it. If I'd lost, I probably would have hated it. But it worked out that it was a good day for me on the bicycle. The things that I really like about this bike versus what I had before, I had a cantilever bike, so mud clearance was always an issue and braking was always an issue. This bike remedies both of those with the disc brakes, and it has very generous mud clearance front and back, which allows you to double this thing as a gravel bike because you can put really wide tires on it. You're not limited to like a cross specific 32 or 33 millimeter tire. So you don't have to have this just as a cross bike. So that is nice. Came equipped with somewhat mud tires, which is cool because they worked really well this weekend in the peanut butter mud. So that was also a good thing. I really like the 1x drivetrain. after riding it. Wasn't so sure on that just because I'm used to having a double. Not sure how much I'll like that if I do go do some gravel rides, because you tend to run out of gear pretty fast when you're on the roads going fast. But you know, for what it's intended for, it works really well. Really like the crispness of the shifters, but that's a SRAM thing. I like how they're solid. There's not really a doubt that you have shifted gears. One of my complaints though is this cable right here tends to make a lot of noise when you're riding it on the road and it's bouncing around. I'm gonna have to find a solution for that. But as of right now, that's really the only thing that I can complain about, which I guess in the scheme of things is not really a lot. Yeah, I mean, this bike's so different from that old bike that the differences are dramatic. The only difference that I can really notice, like that other bike was probably 2 pounds lighter than this when I had to pick it up to go across the barricades, but 2 pounds is nothing. It's still sub 20 pounds. I'd rather be able to stop than lift the bike up. I don't know, it was stable. Like it wasn't, and I didn't feel like in all that twisty stuff that it was killing me or anything, so. I mean, I know they said that this bike, from this bike to the Contend AR is only a 1/2 degree difference in head tube and seat tube angle. That's why I was looking at the Contend.
That's got it.
Yeah.
So there you have it, straight from the Cat 3 Masters overall contender himself. There again, this is probably a weekend actually riding it. I pedaled the bike around. I really like how it rode in a parking lot, but that's no, riding it for 6 months and actually learning all the ins and outs of the bike. I do believe it at least got to give it, 3 to 4 weeks of continuous riding on a bike to truly know everything about it and figure out how much you do enjoy the bicycle. So if you want to actually see a little bit more about this bike, I am going to give him a GoPro for this Sunday's race. Looks like it might be a little muddy again, so that'll be 3 out of the 4 so far. So be sure to stick around for that. It's going to be a really, really fun race, mainly because it is the Boone event, which means it's basically a gigantic Halloween party. I'm super excited for it. I've got an awesome costume. I'll leave that for the next one. I'll catch you guys next week, I guess. See ya.